So, sidebar before we get started, Goodreads had this really great blog post where they analyzed a bunch of data that they got because, well, they own the hardcore reading community, and so they know everything that we do. Anyway, they looked at by gender who reads what. It's a really good article. Unsurprisingly, but sadly, if you're a female author, you can expect 80% of your audience to be women, but if you're a male author, it's an even 50-50 split. Men are still uncomfortable picking up a book written by a woman, but it's also telling that when they do, they tend to rate those books very highly, which means it's not that they're not connecting with the material written by women, it's just an initial societal leeriness of picking up a book with a woman as the byline. But here's the good news. Take a look at the top 5 books that men are reading that are written by women. 4 out of 5 of them are young adult books, which tells me that this societal bias is by and large generational, and the younger generation of men are not idiots and are not as quick to judge a book by its author's gender. Which I know we can all attest to because of all the wonderful guys here on BookTube who are happily discussing books regardless of the gender of the author. You guys are the best. On that note, let's discuss young adult books. The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. This was my first Sarah Dessen book, and yeah, this was really, really good. I loved this book. I definitely get the Sarah Dessen thing now. She's just a lovely writer. For those of you who have not been so lucky as to have already read this book, it is a contemporary YA book about a girl who is coping with her father's death by trying to live the perfect life, and the motley crew of a catering company that she falls in with, and Wes, a boy with a past who turns her life upside down. This is so good. I highly recommend it. Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout, the 3rd book in the YA paranormal series Lux. Here's my history with the Lux series. I read the 1st book and was like, okay, this is okay. I read the 2nd book and was like, oh my god, I love this book. This 3rd one, I liked, but didn't love it with the undying passion I loved in number 2. The story was a bit slow. I'm hoping the next book picks up the pace a bit. The Far Seekers by Isabel Carmody. This is book 2 in the fantasy YA Ober-Newton Chronicles. I liked the 1st book in the series, but this one really failed to engage me. I had such a hard time finishing this book, to the point that I don't think I'm going to continue on with this series. The very slightly potential romance between 2 characters, which is the B storyline that's supposed to make you want to know what happens next, is not enticing enough to make me want to continue on. And finally, I read the short story prequel to Leigh Bardugo's YA Fantasy Grisha series. The Witch of Duva reads as a folktale about a beast that has been eating girls. It's a cleverly done short story. It's a good addition to this universe. And there we go. I really want to talk more about gender and reading. What are your thoughts? Have you noticed a generational development in views on reading books written by the opposite gender? Let's discuss.